innocent blood is shed, and you have shed much innocent blood.
Ghost Rider.
Do you dare face the agony of those you have slain?
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I'm a pretty big fan of Marvel writer Ed Brisson, and he's got a pretty big week with the debuts of his zombie mini-event series Contagion and Ghost Rider. I know some are really excited for Contagion, but me personally, I've had Ghost Rider circled as the series I'm most interested in. Before Jonathan Hickman returned to Marvel, Brisson was the only writer there doing X-Men any justice in my book. In fact, I say his Extermination miniseries last year was one of the best stories in all of comics for 2018. So it's good to see Ed branch out a bit and getting new opportunities. Aaron Kuder is the artist on Ghost Rider, and I also like his visuals quite a bit. His style certainly fits a character like Ghost Rider, so I was double excited. I was previously reading Avengers right up until War of the Realms, and Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, was the standout character from that series for me. So I was a bit surprised this new iteration of Ghost Rider features two versions of the character, but neither being Reyes. But Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch more than hold their own in this comic. Bottom line up front, Ghost Rider #1 is a great start to the series. Ed Brisson and Aaron Kuder both bring their A games and deliver an excellent comic reading experience. I highly recommend Ed Brisson and Aaron Kuder's Ghost Rider. Now it's time for all the glorious details. It's time for my Ghost Rider #1 comic book review. Aaron Kuder's line art is very tight and it helps the storytelling in Ghost Rider a ton. His depictions of hell are a bit on the nightmarish side, but you can tell he had a great time drawing this comic book. His depiction of Mephisto's followers sacrificing a demon loyal to Johnny Blaze, now the king of hell, to open a portal to Earth is equal parts nuts and amazing. Color artist Jason Keith brings the perfect palette to the series. He covers hell in an assortment of reds, and you have to really pay attention to the background details during the scenes in hell. The team put in a lot of effort to make them look fantastic. Kuder and Keith's visuals transition perfectly between the underworld and modern day New York. As great as Kuder is at creating monsters, he's at his best with Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch. Blaze walks with an extreme swagger and purpose, befitting the current king of Hades, while Ketch is much more solemn and moody. The visual contrast of the characters plays perfectly into Brisson's initial story and sets the table for a terrific comic book. There are multiple amazing pages of Ghost Rider in action. The first responsibility of any artist on a superhero comic should be making the hero look as awesome as possible when he's in action. Aaron Kuder and Jason Keith make both Ghost Riders look like aces every time they appear in this story. The 90s look and feel of the comic add to Brisson's excellent writing. Aaron Kuder and Jason Keith do not play it safe in Ghost Rider #1. The visuals are brilliant, and I can't wait for more. I rate the art 4.5 out of 5. The comic opens with Mephisto's followers sacrificing a demon loyal to Johnny Blaze. Ghost Rider arrives on the scene, but it's too late. The portal is already opened, and an unknown number of demons have already escaped the dominion of hell. Johnny exits hell to bring the escaped demons back. When he arrives in New York, he reverts back to his human form, and he's changed a bit. Since becoming the ruler of Hades, his ability to smell sinners is greatly enhanced. This is a really cool development with the character. If his ability to smell sinners is enhanced, it's logical to think that his other abilities will be elevated as well. And it's hinted that other things have changed with Johnny Blaze later in the story. When Brisson introduces Danny Ketch, he's in a much different place. He's a down-on-his-luck bar owner picking fights with some slightly discourteous patrons. During the fight, he's doing his best to hold back and control the spirit of vengeance. As he's about to lose it, his ex-girlfriend breaks up the fight and fills readers in on a few events in Danny's life. Stacy Dolan has moved on from Danny and married and started her own family now. We also learn his mother recently passed and he's having a very difficult time coming to grips with her loss. Needless to say, things couldn't get much worse for Danny's personal life, and is taking all his strength not to blow up. Danny's pissed and he exits the bar to take his Ghost Rider form and let off some steam. Luckily for him, several demons just arrived on Earth and are ready to play. Danny manages to find one particularly enormous monster, and wouldn't you know it, Johnny Blaze arrived looking to take the monster down as well. In a fantastic action sequence, Danny takes out his frustrations on the giant beast and sends one soul back to hell for Johnny. Back in hell, Johnny left Decay to watch the portal and ensure no more demons pass through. It's not a good day to be allies with the King of Hell. A new challenger to the throne takes advantage of the situation and rips Decay's heart right out of his chest. Like I told you, the scenes in hell are really nuts. Johnny and Danny sit for a beer, and Blaze asks for his help bringing the escaped demons back to hell. Danny's been hitting the bottle a lot lately. His life is in shambles, and the last time he teamed up with Johnny ended with a fellow Ghost Rider dying in his arms. Danny is less than interested in providing any aid to the King of Hell. He also mentions that he inadvertently changed into the spirit of vengeance during his mother's funeral, and that didn't go over well either. Johnny asked him to think about it, but Danny has basically hit rock bottom. He's not looking to help anyone in his current state. While Johnny runs down another demon, Danny visits his mother's grave, and things get very interesting. Johnny questions a demon about where the others are. The demon tells him he should be worried about the ones who aren't running because they're coming for his throne. Meanwhile, Danny's dead mother visits him and issues an ominous warning. She tells him there's something wrong with Johnny. He's been corrupted by hell, and Danny needs to send him back. This is very interesting. Johnny has demons coming for his throne, and Danny's dead mother is telling him Johnny is corrupted. And we do know that some of his abilities have changed since taking the throne, so it might be true. But turning Ketch on Johnny Blaze using his recently deceased mother could all be part of the plan to overthrow his throne. Needless to say, this is a fantastic cliffhanger to end on. Ed Brisson does a fantastic job introducing readers to the current state of Johnny and Danny. It's very easy to empathize with both Ghost Riders. I rate the characterization 4.5 out of 5. Brisson does a great job setting the stage for the story moving forward and creating several very interesting mysteries. I rate the plot 4 out of 5. I had pretty high expectations coming into this series. Ed Brisson, Aaron Kuder, and Jason Keith blew them out of the water. The visuals in hell from Kuder and Keith are particularly inventive. The entire team do an amazing job fleshing out both Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch and emphasize how different they are. Brisson crafts a very intriguing story that leaves a ton of mystery moving forward. I really like multiple players vying for the throne of hell. I rate Ghost Rider number 1, 4.5 out of 5 overall. This comic is an absolute blast to read. Fans of Ghost Rider should be over the moon with the quality of this issue. I highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.